Hello and welcome back to another movie review. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of It Chapter 2. Scary. And oh boy, this movie is getting a lot of love, and it's mostly deserved. Mostly. Yeah, my overall non-spoiler views. This movie is really good, but there's just something about it that just... It's keeping me from saying that it's a great movie. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this is going to keep it from being on the best list this year. Because, I don't know, just something about it is just... it's just rubbing me the wrong way. Everything in it is really good. Yeah, there's some bad effects here or there. There's some what the fuck moments with characters and whatnot. But I can't ever say that it's out of character for what they set up for in the first movie or anything like that. It's very consistent, and I was really, really entertained despite the 3-hour sit. It's just, I don't know, something there. It's just something. Now, my thoughts on the first It, as you can see right there in its awesome lenticular cover that you totally can't see on the video. I really enjoyed the first one, but it had horrible tone issues. It had no right being good. I mean, it's based on It. And let's be honest, it ain't exactly the best book he ever wrote, okay? I'm just gonna say that. It is not the best. And while I love the original TV movie series, I saw it as a kid, so it did scare the crap out of me back then. Adult-wise, never really scared me, but I can say that it's definitely an entertaining sit because Tim Curry and the kids are amazing in it. Adults, not so much. Which, admittedly, is also a problem with It Chapter 2, but we'll get to that. But overall, I still give It Chapter 1 a damn good movie seal of approval and definitely earning praise on my surprise list of 2017, I believe is when it came out. But how does it compare to It Chapter 2? The finale of all of this? Well, let's actually get into it and start looking at the good stuff inside of it, which, by God, this cast is amazing. Yeah, that's the one consistent thing you're going to hear in every single review because it's undeniable. They casted everybody pitch perfect in this movie. Like, unbelievably so. At one point, there's a shot where they literally, like, fade the adult face over the kid face, and by God, yeah, that's totally what he would look like as an adult. Holy shit. Honestly, I can't think of a bad actor in this entire bunch. Jessica Chastain does great as Beverly. James McAvoy is amazing as Bill. Bill Hader is the, showstopper. Put your foot down because he's the most entertaining thing in this movie. Damn, this guy was just playing Alpha, wasn't he? And he wasn't even that funny as Alpha. What the hell happened? He probably got better material. It's not like he wrote his own material anyway, right? And the other standout is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. In the first movie, I was pretty lukewarm on him, mostly because I feel that he's really over-designed and they don't give him enough chances to actually, remember he's a clown, let him be funny and scary at the same time. But this movie, they let him be both. And they just let him have whatever he wants. He is just as entertaining as Bill Hader's humor is in this movie, and just delivering scares most of the time. It's just perfect. I especially want to call out the scene where he ate the little girl's face off, because that shit was scary. You see most of it in the trailer with him and the little bee like, hello. But no, the scene itself is just, damn. And there's another thing I'll give this movie a lot of credit for. The scares are legitimate. They hit hard. Now, I don't feel that we ever get anything as awesomely creative as when they were in the house in the first one and Richie, I believe, gets stuck in the room with the coffin and the clowns. And, he opens up the coffin, sees his dead corpse puppet, slams the coffin down, and it jumps back open, and Pennywise jumps out. We don't get anything quite as good as that inside of this movie, but we get a lot of just balls to the wall awesomeness. You got giant monsters, you got statues coming to life, you've got making out with clowns, you're getting stuck inside of a fucking locker in a school with one, which I freaking love Bill Skarsgård's face when he just appears behind the fat kid in his locker. This is what I wanted from him in the first movie, and they deliver in the second. And there's a lot of callback scares where they actually do have the setups like the not very scary, scary, very scary doors, and actually start kind of messing with it because these characters know this now. Oh, wait, no. He's fucking with us. We gotta go use this door. We gotta use this door. You know, they actually do play with that. Yeah, you can see it as repetition, but much like in Avengers Endgame, it feels more like a callback because this movie is the ending. So, yeah, let them have their fun. And there is one thing that I will let this movie have over all others. And you can say, oh, it's just them putting the ending of the book on there, but I don't care. It actually fucking ends. This isn't a monster who will come back again. They don't end this movie with a, oh, is he actually dead? And spoopy jump scare like 90% of all horror films made today. No. They made it definitive. This thing is dead. They killed it. And they give it an actual fucking resolution to this movie, which feels earned. And that, above all else in this movie, everything else raises it a few points in my opinion. Because it just, you don't see that anymore. Especially in the horror film. Everything's got to be a franchise. Everything's got to be a money silo. Everything's got to be a printing press that they can just fawn over and they can milk till it's dead. No, this one, it fucking ended. And it's proud of it. But with that said, there are some problems. And I think the big one is also something you're going to hear pretty much everybody say. So go on, everyone. Say it with me. It's over 3 hours long. This movie is a sit. Like, this movie did not need to be 3 hours. In fact, I feel it might have been better if they had cut it down because there is a lot of scenes of just people standing there looking at something for an uncomfortably long time. You could probably cut a good 20 minutes off just cutting off all of these scenes where someone is stoically looking off into the distance or remembering shit. I mean, seriously, it happened so much. Yes, it happened in the original miniseries, but that was a fucking miniseries from the 90s that was trying to pad itself out for TV. Also, we should probably mention that a couple of the effects inside of this movie are less than impressive. Particularly the final battle with it has some really bad effects where they rely very heavily on a strobe light going off in the distance. Yeah, I kind of wish it was better looking, but time, I guess. Speaking of time, it's pretty clear that the main cast inside of this did not have much shooting time as a group, and everyone's time is delegated to just one-on-one scenes with each other. There's like 3 different instances in this movie where they come together as a group, disperse into 1 or 2 things, go do their own thing, have 1 or 2 scenes with the clown, come back together, and do it over again. It's tedious, and you can tell it's because most of these actors probably had other gigs at the time that they were doing, and you couldn't get them for this part of the film. Now, some of it's okay, like when the characters are off looking for their tokens, but then they get together, have like a scene together, and then they split up immediately and go all their different directions. In fact, I'd even say that McAvoy pretty clearly is not in this movie enough, even though he really should be. Most of his scenes are done solo. Yeah, even compared to the others, he's gone off on his own a surprisingly lot of this movie. Maybe that's true to the book. Maybe that's true to the situation. I don't know. But it is distracting when I notice things like this. And it didn't have to be that way, is all I'm saying. Especially in a movie where the whole point is unity and coming together. They need to band together to kill it. So why are they off on their own so much? Also, there's a thing in the bad effects. I didn't notice it, but apparently a lot of the kid actors who did return to do a few scenes inside of this, they apparently all hit puberty at once in the 2 years that it took to make this film. So most of them had to be de-aged. In particular, the kid who played Richie inside of the first movie. Apparently he got like 2 feet taller and a little bit more round, so they had to really edit him down a bit in a few scenes. I've heard so many people complain about him, but I honestly didn't notice. So much of the movie is digitally enhanced. How can you really tell if someone's cheeks aren't as wide as they should be? His mouth is moving just fine and it looks great, so who cares? Also, just on a note, to bitch about that is to really show that there's not much to bitch about in this movie. It was a necessary thing they had to do for the movie, and if you're looking for stuff to be bad at that point, well then I guess this movie is pretty great, ain't it? Okay, I won't go that far. Going into my final verdict, it's just, there's something about this movie that does rub me the wrong way. It's not a great movie, but it really should be. And I think it's a lot of those little things. The fact that the cast is not always there. That there's an effect here or there that just doesn't work. That they needed to stick this landing a little bit better. This is a damn good movie. One that I will buy, but it does not stand on its own. Chapter 1 stands on its own. You do not need to see Chapter 2 for Chapter 1 to be enjoyable. But Chapter 2, you really need to watch the first one before going into this, or you will be so freaking lost. So personally, my final verdict on this one is I will give this a solid go see it. You will not be disappointed. Pay full price. You will enjoy yourself. In this desolate part of the movie year cycle, this is another one of those gems like Ready or Not. Absolutely, go have fun with it. Go watch it. You won't be disappointed. It doesn't get a must-see because you really need to see the first one first. I think that's what's overall keeping me from putting up as a great horror film. It does not stand on its own. But as a sequel, it is one that you will enjoy immensely, and I highly recommend it. And that's all for me. Did you enjoy the video? Did you like both of the It's? Well, tell me your thoughts about it inside the comments down below, and we'll get some healthy discussion going. As always, be sure to help support the channel by liking, sharing, subscribing, ringing the bell, all that jazz YouTube demands that we say at basically end and beginning of every single film. So, you know what? Do all that jazz. Also, if you want to join on Tuesdays and on Thursdays at 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, MST, I do stream Pokemon. I'm almost done with Pokemon Heart Gold, which I'm probably going to do a one-off game. Like Tuesdays will be Pokemon and Thursdays will be something else. That still remains to be seen, but be sure to join. I've been doing it pretty consistently those days, and on my Twitter and Facebook pages, I let you know if the timings change or if I end up canceling. So just be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff, so you're informed. And yeah, that's it for me, so I guess I'll see you all next time.